What's going on, everybody? This is Steve from AltCoin Buzz, and I'm coming at you right now with some buying opportunities. I was taking a look at the market just now and trying to figure out where I want to do some shifts and where I want to inject some new coins. So right now the market's down a little bit. It's up compared to yesterday for the most part, but still a relatively soft lull in most of these tokens. And there's a few of the big players that have a lot of long-term potential, some short-term potential, and they're currently in buying opportunities. So if you missed out on picking them up before their all-time highs just recently, let's dive in. So the first one that comes to the list is Cardano. Now keep in mind, this is not financial advice. This is just me giving you my observations as I'm looking to make some investments of my own. I wanted to pass along my findings to you guys, as we always do. So, free of charge, here's some advice. All right, so Cardano, you guys have probably been following this. Jeff's been talking about it for a while, and it was recently up pretty high. Like it hit, I know it was over 50 cents, right? 58 cents. Okay, so it's been a few days hovering in that 50 plus range. And right now it's dipped down. So if you want to buy the dip, we're in that dip. You missed the opportunity to buy it slightly cheaper at about 31 cents. That would have taken place yesterday when the market was fully out. But it was up and then it's back down again. So right now you could pick it up at just under 40 cents. And that is a buying opportunity on Cardano. So take a look at this, guys. This is a great project. You want to add these guys on Twitter. So it's... always when you're investing in them, you want to make sure you add them to Twitter, because a lot of these, find out what other social media platforms they're on, because these guys break big news, and that can be devastating, or in a lot of cases it actually gives you an injection, and you want to know when your coin's about to shoot up in value if you're looking at holding it. But Cardano is definitely one of those coins you want to be looking at holding for the long term. So if you're looking at buying into it at this dip, you got to realize, if we go back to the charts, that not too long ago, just a couple weeks ago, this coin was massively undervalued. And it was sitting at, well, that was after it went up. You see, it kind of did like these two-stage propulsions. It was at 2 cents, then it went up to like 12 cents-ish, and it sat there for a while and pulled back, and we were all buying into it again. And then it shot crazy up. People sold off. Shot crazy up, and then the market dip came, right? And then we went up again. So there's a little bit of a pullback in the market at the moment again, but it's a little bit soft on Cardano, and considering it's undervalued so greatly, you could probably pick this up at about 10 cents less per token than what it was worth a couple days ago, and certainly something that's worth a lot more in the long run. It still has a $10 billion market cap, which is strong. It's sitting in one of the top coin positions. But, this coin may be one of those tokens that gets the market cap of Ripple here in the near future. And if we want to take a look at that by comparison, Ripple's sitting just a little bit higher, 4 times. So what would your Cardano be if it was sitting at 4x? About $1.60. So, maybe Cardano's easy in the short term. How Ripple sat flat for so long that, it's not crazy to think that Cardano could potentially just catch up to Ripple and be a $40+ billion market cap. So something to look forward to in the long run. And that's one of my top picks. It's a relatively safe pick too. Anytime you're picking something in the top 10, top 20, it's a pretty good chance it's going to be a good long-term player in the game. So definitely look into scooping up some Cardano for yourself if you're looking at putting some money in here before Christmas. Now that's not to say that 5 days from now or tomorrow, whatever, the situation's going to change and then all of a sudden it's not going to be cheap anymore. So, all this information is timely. So make sure that you guys are subscribed to us here on YouTube and that you ring the bell for alerts so you can watch these videos closer to when they come out, because the advice is only meaningful typically at the time that it's fresh. So, looking at this coin tomorrow, don't say, oh, I missed the opportunity, it's up to 48 cents again, I can't, I'm not going to buy into it, or whatever the case may be. Just throwing that out there. Now, way down on the list is another one of my favorites that I personally hold a big position in, and it's because I believe in VertCoin, and you might have heard us talk about VertCoin quite a few times, But 7 days, it's on a dip for 7 days, and it's on a dip over the hour. So I think any time under $8 is right now is a great time to buy VertCoin. It's spent some time hovering above that, but it's not the fact that it's primed to be an $8 or $10 coin. That's easy for it to get into that range, just depending upon people's sentiment. But you have to look. It's at a $300 and something million market cap. It's not even in the billions yet, and it's often said that VertCoin is potentially better than Litecoin in terms of its technology, and it may be something that if we look at Litecoin, let's say that we go from 300 million in market cap, and we catch up to Litecoin. Litecoin's at 15 billion, and look at how much time over the last year. Let's go take a look at last year. How long of a run it took for Litecoin to hit its mark. It didn't start to come into its own until only a short 2 weeks ago. So, a lot of people were holding on to it. It was making steady gains, and VertCoin has that same type of long-term potential that it's going to probably, may not even take that long. I think we've seen a paradigm shift in the cryptocurrency space where coins used to take 3 to 6 or 9 months to really pick up steam and earn that community trust. But now we're seeing that coins that's become exponentially shorter. We've also seen that the elasticity of the coin market has also rebounded a lot faster. Where rebounds used to take months and then a week, days, now we're seeing it correct itself within 24 hours or sometimes within a few hours. So you guys are getting smarter and realizing that some of this pullback is your buying opportunity and not your chance to panic sell. So let's look at VertCoin long term. It had that same type of price action. The chart looked very similar to, let's go to all time, looked very similar to what you were seeing initially on the Litecoin charts. But let's go take a look at it. And it's on a dip for the 7 day. So just barely, we're looking at sitting around 764, and it was over $8 about 7 days ago. And it spiked. I've seen it over $10, but I think maybe that could have been for a brief period of time that I saw it in the double-digit price range. And it also would depend on what exchange you were on. I traded on Bittrex personally, so that does matter. And when you take a look at the markets, VertCoin, it's on quite a few, but Bittrex, Poloniex, those are some of the two bigger ones, at least the ones that I'm using. And Bittrex has the highest volume. So you'll see that it trades a lot higher right now if you're on Bittylicious, but I don't use that, and never have. I've heard of it before, and it's got a funny name, but you guess you'd be overpaying right now if you were exchanging like these people out of British pounds into VertCoin. So sometimes it's important too that you want to look and see what, sometimes your buying opportunity, if you've got some Bitcoin or some Ether that you're looking to toss around and pick up some of these altcoins, take a look at what exchange you can get it cheaper on, because sometimes the exchange you might be using would be more advantageous in this case to switch your other coins from Bittylicious over to Bittrex and purchase it there. You'd pick up an immediate $1.90 difference there. So that's another tactic you could use. I've heard people say, oh, Bitcoin, it's fallen down to 10,000 on this odd exchange. Like, well, okay, I guess you could jump in and buy it at that and transfer your coins back to your wallet somewhere else, where you might be paying 13,000, 14,000 for it elsewhere. But VertCoin, I think if we look at its market cap potential and trying to catch up to Litecoin, it's not going to necessarily catch up to Litecoin without Litecoin making some upward momentum itself. It's going to take a little bit of more total market cap injection, where right now we're sitting right around $550 billion of market cap. When this market cap is $1 trillion, which is probably going to take place in the early part of 2018, if a lot of these predictions are correct, let's say that this hits $10 billion and it goes 30x, what are you going to be holding at that point? When this is a $210 coin, or even a $100 coin, are you going to wish you'd bought it below $8? And that's why I bought so much of it. And I've got this in a hodl situation. I don't care that I bought some of it at slightly over $8. I bought some of it at like $6 or $5. I bought it at different times and just kind of started building it up, and slowly but surely it became one of my larger positions. So I believe that this is a good coin to hold on to for long term, and it's certainly way undervalued when you look at the fact that it's so low down the chain on CoinMarketCap. Let's take a look and recap its position. One day we'll see it in the top 20. And I've seen, look at things like Tron and all that shot up there overnight. It's not unreasonable to see these projects, and this project's been around a long time. But it's not unreasonable. See, I'm getting lost. It's so far down there. Wasn't that far. DigiNote was another one I picked up recently. I can't recommend buying it right now. I'm not saying bad things about the project. It's just up too much. You would definitely be buying it at an all-time high, but I bought that at like around 0.4 cents, something like that, just a few days ago. Crazy that it's gone up. I'm going to hold on to that and see where that goes. But let's see what else might have a buying opportunity as we're looking at VertCoin at 58. So, it's definitely finally out of the, it's into the top 100, but it's going to take quite a bit of momentum. A lot of these coins that are at $250, $300 million still have a lot of room to grow. Some of these are not so great, and some of them are way undervalued. Electronium, certainly way undervalued. It is good to see that come back off its 6 or 7 cent mark that it was on last week after everyone sold off their ICO for massive gains. Monocoin, okay, I don't buy it myself, but it's at a dip, so that's something to look at. Let's go back and take a look at the overall graphs and see if there's any other coins that we're missing out on. IOTA, okay, so it looks like IOTA's recovered, right? It was at some big strong $5 price point here recently, and it's pulled back. So IOTA's looking like it's a good top 10 that's in a buying opportunity. So let's take a look at that too. So overall it's up big time, but let's look at the last month. You'll see its rise, a strong rise, and then for the week it was 364-ish, and now it's at 345. So right there, IOTA is presenting itself as being a strong indicator of a buying opportunity. So it's probably going to end up hitting a resistance point here and bouncing back up. And if tomorrow for Christmas Eve the markets decide to skyrocket, you're going to see all the coins kind of bounce back as we saw yesterday or earlier today, depending on what part of the world you live in. So we got IOTA, Cardano, and VertCoin, and that's not an all-inclusive list. There might be some more out there. Comment below what other buying opportunities you guys are seeing. What are you moving your positions into? If you had some coins hypothetically burning a hole in your pocket, or some cash burning a hole in your pocket, what's your top pick for investment? Are you guys feeding off the newly added list like Jeff was talking about earlier today? Or are you guys looking at some of the tried and true top 100? Drop your strategies below. Make some price predictions on where you think VertCoin is going to be at. Where do you think IOTA is going to bounce back to? And then Cardano. Where do you guys see these being after the new year? So January 1st, what's your prediction on those three? Comment that below. This is Steve signing off from AltCoin Buzz.